It's a beautiful day and James is out here already working on the barn. He's putting up what I think is called in-wall flashing over there. Let's go check it out. So this is it. This metal here is what he's putting in. So we're making it work, but as you can tell, it ain't looking real pretty. Fortunately, we'll have small pieces of metal siding that go here, but still, it's like it's not bent at the right angle. You really have to kind of force it in. I don't know. Oh well. All right, we got all of those in. We do need to still put some foam stuff down here, but we're putting in the first couple of pieces just to make sure that it works and it fits. But these are the small pieces of metal siding that are gonna go all along this.
Think one row screw be enough?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it'll be enough because we're gonna have trim up here that's gonna hold the top. These are outside closures for trim. That way nothing can get up underneath in the metal. This seals everything off. These are also waterproof. So it's just foam. Typically they're sticky on one side. That'll go on the roof. And then you'll screw screws down through the top, through the roof. So that creates a good seal.
Oh,
They also have these grooves in them, so they'll actually hook together. Pretty easy to use. This in-wall flashing, don't think it was bent right. Either that or I just didn't order the right stuff. Never ordered metal before, but whew, it was a pain in the butt to get that on there. So now we're just working to try to make this look nice. I don't want it to look bad, so.
I think it'll be fine. This is what that stuff is that he's talking about.
We picked this up from Menards because I forgot to order from my metal guy. Oop.
Okay.
So you just stick it up underneath here. No big deal.
That's it?
That's it.
Oh, I see. And then there's ridges for the foam. And those ridges go over the ridges in the metal. And then you just press down. And then you'll add screws on top of it.
Yeah.
So we figured out that it lays better if you actually push the foam back a little bit. Otherwise, it kind of flattens that black thing out instead of having the angle like the roof does. So if you push them back, then it flattens out better. So we're gonna push it back and then screw it in, and it kind of goes under this ledge here.
Yeah. Well, honey, you wanna?
Yep, I'll do it. Okay, learn from our mistakes. Shoving this foam underneath that once you already have the metal siding in is not easy at all. It's actually really hard. So you should definitely figure out where this foam stuff goes and put it down before putting that corner trim piece thing on and then the metal siding.
Sissy.
I'm put up cheaps, as James would say. Anyway, so he's gonna finish this part, which is I'm like breaking my fingers to try to get done, and I'm gonna start from over here and work this way, and then we'll meet in the middle because it is easier to lift up when the metal siding's not there. Okay, we got all of those foam pieces in, and actually lifting up just the corner piece here to get the foam under is very easy. So you can do that as long as you don't have the actual metal siding in. But okay, got that done. Now James is just gonna work on finishing putting up the rest of these panels. And I'm gonna take the boys back and cook some lunch. Oh yeah, that looks really good from up here. Really good. He got it done up there. Looks really good. Now we're gonna work on the drip edge on the other side of the barn.
We're gonna pinch off one end of this lip like this, I just use my cutters. Just pinch it off real good, and then the other one will slide over top of that. So we have a good lap. Not that I'm trying to be Mr. Perfect, but.
And this stuff actually goes in really easily. I'll take the phone up there to show you guys, because when you slide it in, you just slide it right underneath the metal and it goes over top of that bubble wrap. Okay, so here it is. You can see how that part just slides in there real easily underneath that metal roof. See? Whoop, just goes in there. And then James goes on top and puts screws in through the metal roof, and that goes into this and holds it in place. Just got it done and it looks great. All we have to do now is get the corner pieces on, and then we will actually be ready for gutters. Now we're back here and we're gonna put the corner trim on here. We decided to go with white. That way everything is kind of trimmed out in white. So you'll notice that when we put these up, yes, they are white, not black, and that was not an accident, that was on purpose. We had to take that piece down because it would not overlap correctly. So we looked it up, and you actually have to cut the corners off of that bottom trim there. And then you put a bead of silicone around that whole edge, and then you're able to slide the top piece over it. Okay, you can see where he cut off the edges here. About 2 inches for overhang, and then he flared out on these little parts that he's putting on the wings so that hopefully it just slides over.
Yeah.
That corner's done. It looks really good. You can barely see where that seam is. Now James is over here. He's putting J-channel up along this bottom rim of that board there. So with that little piece of black metal that he just cut, he'll put that on to cover up that board. And then of course we've got trim that goes over that top corner of that. Got all that put on. Obviously it looks great. And now he's working on putting the corner trim on, just like we did over there. And there it is. Definitely took some thinking, because honestly we have no idea what you're supposed to do here. I'll zoom up close. James doesn't like it, but I think it looks good. So.
Don't show him that.
Okay, so it's a windy morning, but I got that straw roll stuff rolled out over here. Rocks placed on top of it so it won't roll away. And then I went ahead and just lightly seeded another layer of grass on top of that, just so that this hillside can hopefully turn into grass. It won't be mud soon. And James is up here putting in that corner trim on the back side of this barn.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead and put on the corner trim on the back of the barn, the eave trim, whatever you want to call it. And it's the same as our corners. So we're gonna go ahead and put those up next so we can start our ridge cap. We got to put that in so no water gets in here. We're about to get some concrete poured. And once we get these up, we'll be able to know exactly where to put our ridge cap there, how much overhang on the back end, and we'll go ahead and get all that stuff straightened out.
He's just going through now making all of his cuts, so once he's up on the ladder I can just hand him each piece and it's completely ready to go.
Okay, now
Okay, this one's ready.
that one's ready.
The pieces are cut and we're ready to rock and roll.
Oh gosh.
Done. Looks really good. I'm impressed with the top there at that corner. Turned out really nice. Next, going to the lean-to?
Yep. Okay, we're gonna cut blocking to attach the end wall flashing to. And here's why we're having to do this. The top board, that purlin up there, do you see where it's sitting up against the band board? That is too close to the band board. So if you come out here and you can kind of see the lip of the end wall flashing, how it actually goes past that 2x4, your screw is supposed to be on that outer edge. So let's see if I can point to it. Like right,
it's that little piece of metal.
Right there, see that?
It's past the 2x4.
So Courtney's gonna go up the, yeah, so if you're building this, make sure you pad that out at least, 2 to 3 inches. We're close. I mean, we're pretty close, but we're gonna take care of that. That way our end wall flashing it's all kind of looks like this. We want it to be flat with the roof.
So what I'm gonna do is cut this extra 2x4 down to about 10-inch pieces, and I'm gonna hold them up here and here and here so James can screw into that and pad that down. I'm up here on the ladder so you can see this end wall flashing. So here it is, and you can see down here where the 2x4 is. This extends out a lot further than the 2x4, and he needs to put the screw like in here. You can see where he already has one there. So I'm gonna go down here, and where that screw is, underneath, right there, I'll hold up that 2x4 for the blocking. And it's done. You can see all the blocking squares. I was afraid it was gonna look stupid, but actually, it looks nice.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get up on top of the lean-to. It's a little bit wet still, so we don't wanna put the ridge cap on yet. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the rest of the screws in the lean-to roof because we left some of them out. And then Courtney is gonna go up and finish putting the rest of the screws in these hangers. I left a couple out because I didn't have enough screws, but I wanted to get all the rafters up. So that's what she's gonna go back and do. And we should be able to call that finished.
These right here are the screws that I'm gonna be using. James is done putting all the screws in on the top of the lean-to. So I've only got this far done. So James is going to start down there and we're gonna work our way towards the middle and we're gonna get this done. Done. Got screws in all of them. We ran out of screws and only needed 6 more, so we had to use a couple roofing screws.
All right, let's go ahead and get up on the roof and get that ridge cap in.
Okay.
We can be done with it.
There's the ridge caps. That's gonna go up there to seam the roof up in the dead center. We're up here and we're ready to go. It's amazing how bright it is. You can't even really stare at this roof in real life, and it's not even sunny. Look, there's not a sun ray coming through anywhere. We got these closures. We're gonna put them down under the ridge cap. Oh my gosh, look at the view, babe. This is actually my first time being up here on this roof. Wow.
So it needs to go above the screw line right here. See these screws?
Yep.
Just like so.
Got the first ridge cap in. It looks great. This system's gonna work well. I'm gonna put the closures down and he's gonna screw in the ridge cap. He's putting in these last few screws here.
Using 2-inch screws, that way I can hit that 2x underneath.
What was the length of the screws that you used on the regular roofing out here?
I think they were 1.5 inches.
Okay, so these ones you're using the 2-inch. So it goes through to the 2x4 underneath.
Yep. Okay, so we have enough.
And it's done.
Okay, the last thing we got to do on the roof is finish screwing down the main roof. I've got probably 70% of it done. It takes a long time with just one person. It's easier if somebody marks where we need to screw and then I go back behind them and screw it. The 1.5 inch purlin that we have to hit is tight tolerance, so we have to make sure we're right on the money here. So that's why she's going to go with a 4-foot level and mark, and then I'm going to go back behind her and screw.
We did it. All the screws are in. And I know it's hard to tell from the video, but man, these are some straight lines. But we still got to put the screws in the bottom row of this roof and a few over there, and he only has a few screws left. So I got to go get more. See that bottom row? That's what we got to finish. Then it's officially done. And it's officially done. Every single screw is in the entire roof and the lean-to. And that's it for this video. Coming up in our next video, we are going to be digging the trench from the barn all the way to the road so that we can run the water and electric. And that's about it. So if you have any questions, let us know. Otherwise, have a great week and happy homesteading.